Hi there, my name is Remy, and I'm the co-founder of RemiRose Corporation. Welcome to my Wealth Creation Masterclass. And in this class, I'm going to show you how to become financially independent. Now, what are the lessons you're going to learn right in here? So I'm going to share with you 6 secrets about creating wealth so you can obtain the return that you desire. I'm also going to show you how the wealthy create wealth and how to obtain big returns without taking any risks. The third secret I want to show you guys is the rule of money. Now let's look at the rule of money. I like this part. This is my best part, the rule of money. There are 3 rules of money. 1, the compound interest, how money grows, and how your money gets taxed. So let's look at this. Let me give you a scenario. Let's talk about compound interest, rule number 1. If I give you a penny and ask you to double that penny for 31 days, how much do you think it's going to cost? I mean, how much do you think it's going to give you? You have a penny. This is a penny, a cent. And I said double it every day for the next 31 days. Any guess? Okay, let me help you a little bit. Now, if you double a penny for the next 31 days, it's going to give you $10,737,418. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Like, really? Yes, really. It's true. It happens. It's true. Now, let me give you an illustration for that. Look at that. Let's assume that we give you a penny the first day. Second day becomes 2 cents. On Wednesday, it becomes 4 cents. Remember, you're doubling it each day, right? You double what you have each day. Then 4 cents, 16 cents, right? 32 cents, 64 cents, $1.8. You double it. Look at that. You're doubling. This is 20, 40, 81. You're doubling it. Look at what it's doing. Now, you discover that if you keep on doubling, guys, check the math. You can take a picture of this and calculate the math yourself. If you double this money right till this day, it will give you 10 million. Now, what does this assume? It assumes that the money grows at 100% interest. Now, is there any money that grows at 100% interest? Actually, no, we don't have that. But what am I trying to illustrate? I'm just trying to illustrate you the power of leaving your money to grow, borrowing against it instead of withdrawing from it. I'm trying to give you the power of compounding your money in a very important cash accumulation account, which is risk-free, free from taxation, and free from the government. That is the power of what I'm beginning to tell you right now. Secret number 3, ability to grow your money, compound interest. Now, let's assume that this other guy decided that, no, I'm going to grow this money. And he grew the money up to right here when he had $20,000, you see, on day 22. And he decided to okay, I want to buy my car right now. And then he pulled out the $20,000 and bought his car. Guess what? Where does he go back? He goes back to square one, right? He starts back and starts compounding again. And at the end of the 31 days, look at what he's got. Now, that tells you the importance of collateralizing all your purchases with your own income and paying interest to yourself. Guys, this is something you want to take advantage of. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's super important. Now, I'm going to look at another rule, right? This rule, I call it the rule of 72. It's part of compound interest. If you have been looking around, there's some good books I can tell you about the rule of 72. It says that let me put it this way. Take your interest, right, divided by, let me say 72 divided by your interest. It's going to give you the number of years that it's going to take for your money to double. Let me put it this way. What interest are you on? If you put money somewhere and they're giving you maybe 7%, whatever, take 72 divided by the interest that you're giving you. It's going to tell you how long your money is going to take to double. Now, this example shows how much you can earn over time with an investment of $10,000 at different rates, right, of return, starting at age 29. Let me say you're 29 right now, okay? Most of us are working at 29. And we put our money maybe in a bank or maybe in setting an account somewhere because we're not kind of looking at to give us some retirement benefits. Okay, now, let's assume the bank gives you 1%. 1%. Now, 72 divided by 1. Remember, the rule says divide 72 by your interest. It's going to tell you how long it's going to take for your money to double. 72 divided by 1, which is the interest, your money doubles every 72 years. So by the time you are 101, you're going to have 20,000. Isn't that crazy? Let's say your interest is 4%. 72 divided by 4, it takes 18 years. So your money doubles every 18 years. So by the time you are 47, you have 20,000. The time you are 65 going for retirement, you have 40,000. Let's say you have 6% interest. 72 divided by 6, it gives you 12 years. So your money doubles every 12 years, right? So you are 29 with 10,000. By the time you turn 65, you have 80,000. Now, if your interest is 12%, your money doubles every 6 years. So what does that mean? If you are 29, by the time you turn 65, you have 640,000 in your account. Now let's look at this, guys. If we look at this chart, do we see we doing ourselves a favor or doing ourselves a disfavor, right? You want to look into that, and you want to make sure that you are using your money very well. You're putting your money in a place where it will give you compound interest and it grows in a way that you can benefit from it. Okay, so let's go next. Now another simple illustration of compound interest is this. Let me assume that we give each and every one of us $100,000, and you are investing that money over 40 years with 10% interest. And one other guy said, hey, I'm going to do my own with simple interest. And the other guy said, hey, I'm going to do with compound interest. But let me tell you something what Albert Einstein said, right? He said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it is going to earn it. And he who does not is going to pay it. Let's assume these guys have this 100K and they all use it. And one decided to do a compound interest, and the other one said, hey, I'm going to do a simple interest. Now, how does it look like? Let's go a little bit faster. That's how the money is going to grow, right? That's how the money is going to grow right there. Right there. Look at that. Can anybody guess what happens 40 years later? Oh, wow. I talked to someone, and the person said, no, I cannot keep my money for 40 years. I'm like, hey, guy, do you have a 401k? He said, yes. So how old are you? He guy was just 26. You're 26. You have a 401k. When are you going to touch that money? When are you going to freely get that money? 65. So can't you see you're really keeping money for more than 40 years? Look, guys, we do this. We keep money. We really do this. We can keep this money for 40 years. But what if you keep it in a place that grows with compound interest and tax-free? That's what I'm talking about. If we don't understand this concept of compound interest, believe you guys, we are going to pay the compound interest. That's why most of us paid in our car mortgage, in our car notes, right? We pay in our mortgages. We pay in our school fees loan. How do you explain the fact that you have a school fees loan right now, and by the time you are retiring, the loan is like, maybe you're not even done with the loan. You pay the loan keeps on increasing. Why? Because it grows on compound interest. How can you explain the fact that you pay a car, right? Let me say you bought a car for 20 grand and you end up paying that car for 35 grand, or you end up paying that car for 30 grand. Why? Because the money grows, it compounds with compound interest. Though it's a reducing balance, but it's compound interest, right? And the banks know this. And they know that most of us don't know this. So they make advantage of that. So that is some of the rules you want to know about compound interest. Please, let's look for a way to grow our money with compound interest. Now, the next thing I want to say is, the next rule I want to tell you is rule number 2. That is the rule of money. Remember, we're still in the third secret, right? Which is the rules of money. The first rule is compound interest. And now this rule, I'm talking about how your money grows. Now, your money can grow either fixed, variable, index. There are various ways to invest your money, but let me tell you, there are 3 ways that money is going to grow. Either your money grows fixed, guess what? It's going to be checking account, some kind of maybe fixed accounts, right? Fixed interest accounts. It grows fixed. And you have the variable, right? You have the variable right there. You have the variable. And what is this variable? These are variable accounts. And guys, if you check the meaning of variable, it means unreliable, unpredictable. You cannot determine it. It's uncertain. Guess what? This includes your 401k, 403b, Roth IRA, and most of the things that work with the stock market. Now, am I against stock market? No. But please, if you want your money to grow in a way that you're not going to have heart attack. Now, look at this. You see this graph? It just looks like somebody having heart attack in the hospital. That's exactly what happens with money that grows in a variable account. Now, if you are good in taking the risks and bearing the shock when the market goes down, and you swap off up to like 30% of your money down, then fine, you are good with that. I am not good with risks, and this is this position for some people who want to make sure that they want to get as most as they can with the minimal risks, right? With the minimal or no risks. So that is why I'm doing this particular webinar, to create wealth with peace of mind. You want to build wealth, you want to avoid the risks, or you want to take no risks or minimal risks. So if you put, just let me give you an example. The 401k grows with the stock market, and the thing is, if I ask many people today, what are you expecting to have in your 401k next month? Believe you me, they don't know. Nobody knows. Now, but this is the thing. This is what was created for retirement. And I ask a question. How do you take something that you are not sure, you are not certain, a product that you cannot be sure about its tomorrow, to use it to guarantee a phenomenon that is sure to happen? What is that? Retirement. It makes no sense to me. So I would tell people that retirement is sure, but your 401k is not guaranteed. So if you really want to build income and build retirement income with peace of mind, please look at this graph. Make sure you see what is best for you. Now let's go to the next one called index. And this is the best one. I really like this one more. I use this a lot. Now your money grows, and when the market goes down, they log in your gains. You don't lose any money. Now look at this same graph. It's the same graph right here. But look at where it ends up right here. See where the other one ended up? Right at the bottom. So if this man had grown this money with an index structure, he will make money, but he will never lose money, because they'll be locking up his gains whenever the market is going up and down. Just like that. Right? That's what I'm talking about. When the market goes negative, he doesn't lose any gain. He doesn't lose any of the interest. So, or any of his principal. The same thing right up here. So how will you like your money to grow? If I were to you, fixed, variable, or index? Of course, index, right? Most of us will love the index. All right. So the next thing here is rule number 3, how money gets taxed. Do you want to get taxed now, or taxed later, or taxed advantage? I met some folks who said, oh, I had a very massive tax return. I'm like, really? Are you telling me the IRS took your money? They took more than what you were supposed to take from you, and they are just returning that money to you. Guess what? If it were the other way around, you're going to pay interest. I'm telling you, right? You're going to pay interest. So tax now is your savings account. The money has been taxed. Banks, CDs, that money has already been taxed. Brokerage accounts has already been taxed. Mutual funds has already been taxed. Tax later, it's like, hey, you know what? I know you don't want to pay the tax right now. Can you just put in the money somewhere and invest it? And by the time you pay the interest, please pay us all the tax of what you've got. That is what they're talking about. And that includes your 401k, 403b, IRA, annuities, and pensions. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. If I were to give you a seed of corn, and I say, hey, in this corn, you have 2 options. Either pay me the tax from this seed, or don't bother. I know you don't have the money now. Go plant everything. And when you harvest, please give me the tax of everything you harvest. What will you do? Of course, you want to pay the tax now, right? I don't want to pay the tax of everything I harvest. Why will I pay a tax of my labor, right? I actually did labor for that. Now, guess what? That is what most of us are doing, rather. We're instead using it and saying that we'll pay the tax later. Now, the issue is this. Do you know that in your 401k right now, the taxes in the future will not be the same like the taxes? Because you don't know the tax bracket you're going to retire in. And remember, you're still thinking about increasing taxes. Okay? So let's look at the tax advantaged account. Now, these are an accounts which are tax advantaged. Money grows in tax-free. And you can access this money and get it tax-free. Now, think about it. You take your paycheck. Look at the amount of tax that's being deducted from your paycheck. Come on. So if I tell you that I can put back those tax into your pocket using a tax-advantaged account, is that something you're going to like? Of course, right? What are those accounts? You have municipal bonds, Roth IRA, a executive bonus plans, especially for businesses. If you want to cut down your taxes and pay less on taxes and keep more money for your business, you want to make sure you take use of these executive bonus plans. Cash accumulation in an insurance policy. Guys, cash accumulation in your whole life insurance policy, cash accumulation in an index universal life policy, believe you me, these are tax-free products. It grows tax-free, and I can show you how to access this money tax-free. All right. I want you to show me one thing. I would like you to show me a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation. 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money. Has a tax-free growth and distributions, and the ability to take interest-free loans. Oh, wow. Guess what? It avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your life and that your income will be replaced should you pass on. And it can help protect you from financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness. And of course, it allows you to get money anytime for any reason without any tax penalty. And by the way, you can even start as low as $200 per month. If you can show me that account, then me and you really need to talk. So I want you to take the next steps, right? If you think this information is very healthy for you, if you think this information is very, very healthy, and you like say, hey, Remy, I want to go to the next step. I want to see if this works for me. I want to see if you qualify for this. Please become our partner. Click on the button below to become our partner. So guys, when you click on the button below to schedule a call, now this is what's going to happen. It's very easy. We have just, I think, 2 or 3 steps. Now, when you click on the button to schedule a call, what happens is this. It takes you to a calendar, and then you pick a date, whatever date you want, and then you select your time. You can select any date, right? Whatever works for you, and then you pick up your time. Then when you pick up your time, you scroll down, and then you take continue. Now, guys, it's going to pop up the survey. Yeah, this is the pre-qualification questions we need to know to be sure that this something is going to work for you. Now, please, I will advise that you answer these questions with all honesty, because if we don't get the exact answers from your questions, we will actually not know how to design something that is actually going to work for you, or we will not know how to coach you, okay? So you want to fill these questions, make sure you answer all these questions, and once you're done answering the questions, the next thing you want to do is just hit schedule. And then that is it. You're done with booking the appointment. Thank you so much for your patience, and God bless you. I will see you on the appointment.